rate that you're asking for has to go up because now you're a larger audience, yes or no?
So the way that works is with the syndication, you get like different shares in markets. So we get paid quarterly for that. So we have our regular base, and then depending on
the performance of the different markets, you get rev share type. So Dame Dash, I think that's probably my favorite interview that you guys have ever done. And I think it really changed the culture as far as financial literacy.
Definitely.
People either hated it or loved it at the time.
Changed my life.
But I also feel, I saw a lot of you guys' business models change a little bit after that. Did that have anything? Because I saw like Envy getting heavy into real estate, Charlemagne with his podcast network and a variety of other things. I know you got the Juices for Life and real estate and all that. How did you feel about that interview in the moment? And did you think it would have the ripple effects that it had on the culture and in the world of business?
Well, one thing Damon Dash knows how to do is market, and and he's great at talking about things and making you see his point of view. And I didn't completely agree with a lot of it because I don't feel like because you work for a company that's a bad thing. When I was younger, when I was in college, I wanted to be a teacher. And so I think that certain people and as we saw during the pandemic, some of the most important people were those, people we take for granted. And so I don't necessarily think that if that's what you want to do, that makes you like not motivated or whatever. I think everybody has their own path. And I think we all answer to somebody too. We can say that like we're all independent and we're entrepreneurs and we're this, but you still always have somebody that you're kind of having to, do stuff, whether you get funding from someone and you have to answer for that, or you have customers that you have to answer to. Like, no matter what, we're all in some type of service to other people. And so I didn't completely agree with a lot of things that he said, but I understand and I encourage people who want to be entrepreneurs to do it. It's a huge responsibility, and everybody's not in the position, I feel like, at certain points in their life to do that. So if you can, it's great, but for some people, it's not for them.
Did you ever think, when he was saying, like, you guys could do this on your own, y'all don't need iHeart, and y'all could da-da-da-da, did y'all ever have a conversation like, maybe he's actually right? Maybe we can actually, when our contract is up, actually do this without having iHeart?
No.
No meeting needed.
Well,
no, I don't think.
It.
Yeah, because
Dane.
it's the same reason why people sign to a label or they do a book deal through a publishing company, because you want the support of that company that has all the satellites and all of the different cities, that has the marketing staff, that has the team in places, that has other shows on the network, that has an audience, that has budgets, that has all of those things. So I don't think we ever discussed, like, we should leave, and do it ourselves, because that's a big responsibility. I think even for artists, people always talk about staying independent, and that works for some artists. That's great if you can have a team of people, if you have a following, if you can figure it out, if you know how to do certain things yourself. But for some people, they're like, I just want to do my music, and I want, the label to help me make sure that my stuff is uploaded on all the streaming services, and that they put together a promotional tour for me, that I get, a nice advance to take care of my family or whatever it is that I have going on, that I need to handle, because it does take money to do certain things. And if you don't have that capital to do it, or if you can't find funding for it, then I don't think it's a bad thing to go whatever route you need to.
So, I mean, while you're doing the Breakfast Club, obviously you have your focus on other things as well. And so you had a successful podcast, a bunch of successful businesses.
You'll be on the podcast soon, you guys, yeah.
2 years and still waiting, but
we're still waiting for the invite.
different story.
I mean, we came to your show and everything, but that's another story. So real estate, obviously, you got some the Juices for Life business. Did you have that entrepreneurial spirit when you started your venture into radio, or is that something you learned from interviewing guests? I know one of the advantages we have is we sit down with so many people that we learn every time we talk to somebody, and we hear ideas, and we're like, I think we can execute on this, and we have the resource of the person, now that we sat with them, to use them as a tool to help us get into this field. Which approach were you? You had the entrepreneurial spirit, or did you learn as you were going?